Russia has such secret natural powers through which it can once again become a superpower. Where a large part of Russia is currently covered with ice, on the other side, NATO allies have surrounded it tightly. After America, Russia is the second biggest military power in the world. What is stopping Russia from becoming a superpower, the title that currently belongs to America, is something that is soon going to come back to Russia. But the question is, how? What changes are going to come in Russia's geographical location that will make it a superpower once again? Welcome back to our channel. Viewers, we all know that Russia is the largest country in the world in terms of area. To understand this, consider that when it is sunrise in the west of Russia, at the same time in the east of Russia, it is dinner time. Spread over 17 million square kilometers, Russia is so large that within it, you can fit 2 United States, 5 Indias, 8 Saudi Arabias, or even 70 countries' United Kingdoms. Russia is not only large in area, but also has the world's biggest reserves of oil and gas beneath its land. Russia ranks number 1 in natural gas reserves and 8th in oil reserves. Along with having the largest and most resource-rich land, Russia is also a major exporter of wheat. The largest share of wheat products exported globally comes from Russia, approximately 18%. Alongside all these advantages, there is also a major geographical problem that continuously stops Russia from becoming even more powerful. And that problem is that most of Russia's land is completely useless due to extremely cold weather. This area falls in Siberia, where the average annual temperature is only 0.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest city in the world is also found in this part of Russia, where astonishingly, during winters, the temperature reaches -71 degrees Celsius. And we know this city by the name of Oymyakon, because a large part of Russia faces extreme weather conditions. The population, in proportion to the area, is very low. 75% of the total population lives in only 20% of the country. That's why Russia is spread across a massive land, but still faces many issues. Actually, this is the Arctic Ocean, which remains frozen almost the entire year. That means, despite having such a large coastline, it is of no use to Russia. Obviously, the country that has larger access to the sea can trade with more countries, and more trade means more power. Because ultimately, it's the sea that serves as the channel for trading. Russia currently is forced to carry out its entire country's trade through just 3 ports. One of them is located in the east of Russia and is known as Vladivostok Port, where the water remains frozen for months. But when trading starts in the summer season, Russia's ships have to pass through the Japan-controlled waters. And Japan is a strong allied partner of America and NATO. NATO is a coalition formed among multiple countries, primarily to counter Russia. That means, if Russia ever attempts to attack any NATO country, all other NATO members will come together to defend it. On the other side, there is Russia's St. Petersburg port. And the problem is the same here. For many months of the year it remains frozen. And in the season, ships must pass in front of all the countries that are either NATO members or American allies. The third port is Novorossiysk Port, which is located in the south on the Black Sea. Here, the problem of ice is not as significant, but ships must pass through an extremely narrow passage near Turkey. That means even here, Russia doesn't have full freedom to trade openly. Even though Russia and Turkey's relations have improved a lot recently, Turkey is still a member of NATO. That means the threat always looms over Russia here too. All in all, the matter is that despite having such a long coastline, Russia has to wait for the right season for trade, and then has to rely on the mercy of NATO partner countries to pass through those areas. Still, Russia stands at 11th position in the GDP ranking. GDP means gross domestic product. Simply put, the combined income of the people in a country. GDP rankings are used to measure how successful a country is. But GDP is not the only way to measure a country's power. Apart from GDP, if we talk about military power, the Russian military possesses the highest number of nuclear warheads in the world, even more than America. And after America, the Russian military is considered the second most powerful army in the world. Even here, if Russia is not at number 1, it is only because of its cold weather. This cold weather is the reason why no one has ever been able to capture Russia. Napoleon tried to invade Russia with more than 600,000 soldiers, but his army had to surrender in front of the cold weather. Only 100,000 soldiers were able to return alive. In World War II, Hitler attacked Russia with 3.8 million soldiers. But forget capturing it. More than 1 million German soldiers were killed, and the remaining were captured by the Russian army. Hitler was so shocked by this defeat that he committed suicide. By now, you must have noticed that the one thing stopping Russia from progressing is its cold weather. That is, if the cold weather does not come in the way, Russia can use the ocean in the north for trade and become even more powerful. Besides that, many areas in Russia are full of valuable minerals, like gold, uranium, and diamonds. But due to the cold weather, mining them is not possible. If this cold weather didn't exist, Russia could mine all these minerals and metals and reach the heights of success. Moreover, the biggest requirement of humans is wheat. As you learned earlier, Russia is the biggest wheat exporter. If Russia can become the biggest wheat exporter using only 20% of its land, just imagine what it could export if it becomes capable of using 100% of its land. And if that happens, it can leave even America far behind in GDP rankings. Surprisingly, there is one way through which Russia can get rid of this cold weather, and that is global warming. Due to global warming, it's possible that Russia may once again become a superpower in the coming years. For reference, look at this heat map. These are all the countries where the average temperature is between 11 to 15 degrees Celsius, and this temperature is considered the best for human productivity. Where the average temperature is less than 11 or more than 15, human productivity starts to decline. Currently, this temperature range covers America, Europe, Japan, China, and South Korea, all the countries we often find in the list of successful nations. But experts believe that due to global warming, every year as the ice melts, this temperature range will shift further north. Then the turn will come for Alaska, Canada, Greenland, Iceland, and above all, Russia. According to NASA's analysis, in 1979, the ice in the Arctic Ocean used to be this much. But over time, the ice kept melting, and by 2019, only this much was left. Based on this data, Arctic Ocean ice is decreasing by 13% every year. And if this continues, by 2035, there will be no ice left in the Arctic Ocean, and Russia will be the biggest beneficiary of this. Along with all these factors, there is another advantage for Russia. Due to climate change, as the ice melts, the ocean water level is increasing day by day. That means, when ocean water increases, the cities built on coastlines will be affected first. Obviously, this will cost billions of dollars to manage. On the other hand, in Russia, only 3 cities are on the ocean front, and all other major cities are at least 600 kilometers away from the sea. This will also benefit Russia in the coming time. The Suez Canal is Egypt's sea route that connects Asia to Europe. Not only from China, but from the entire Asia. All ships going to Europe use the Suez Canal, for which they pay a heavy fee to the Egyptian government. Nearly 20,000 vessels use this canal each year, and each vessel pays around $400,000 as toll tax to the Egyptian government. That means Egypt earns $8 billion a year from this transit. From China's Shanghai port to Europe's Rotterdam port, ships cover a distance of 18,000 kilometers and take 37 days. But after the Arctic Ocean ice melts, ships will pass through Russia, and the journey from Shanghai to Rotterdam will be only 10,500 kilometers and 22 days. That means Chinese companies will save millions of dollars in transportation, and obviously, they will pay Russia a hefty toll fee for passing through its controlled waters, from agriculture to natural gas, and from mining valuable minerals to the growth of its population. Because of climate change, Russia now seems to have the upper hand in nearly every sector. There's a strong possibility that in the next 50 or 60 years, Russia could rise once again as a global superpower. We hope you liked this video. Don't forget to share it with others and help us spread the word. A heartfelt thank you for your warm and supportive comments, and we'll see you in the next amazing video.